revenue at more than twice the rate of laggards, the bottom 25%. Why? Laggards adopt technologies unsystematically, isolate them in unconnected silos, and fail to harness their innovative potential. By contrast, leaders adopt a wide range of cutting-edge information technologies and weave them into living systems that blur boundaries, afford agile adaptability, and create seamless human-machine integration. When COVID compelled companies to fast forward, the gap between leaders and laggards widened. Leaders invested in these digital technologies at historic rates to respond to new operational challenges and rapidly shifting customer demands. They scaled their investments in key technologies such as cloud and AI. This helped them not only absorb impacts quickly, but also refocus on growth. They not only survived, they thrived, and pulled ahead of laggards at an even more astounding rate. In 2019, our landmark research on enterprise technology strategies and their impact on performance showed that tech leaders were growing revenues at twice the speed of tech laggards. In our second study, the top 10% of companies rocketed even further ahead, growing revenues at 5 times the speed of laggards. Now, following the pandemic, laggards could find themselves falling even further behind, dangerously so, despite their embrace of new technologies. The bottom line? Every business is now a technology business. At the same time, a radically human approach to technology innovation, often diametrically opposed to existing approaches, has now burst forth and brought companies to a new moment of truth. Innovation loses its innocence. The breakthroughs we examine here arrived at a time of gathering pessimism about the technological road we had been traveling for the past decade. The 2010s dawned with an unprecedented burst of technology-driven innovation. AI promised driverless vehicles, error-free surgery, great leaps in productivity, and much else. The savvy use of social media helped elect America's first black president. Homes, buildings, energy grids, and even cities got smart, and were getting smarter. Opportunities for disruption seemed boundless. Every upstart company aspired to be the Uber or Airbnb of its industry. But as the decade wore on, innovation lost its innocence. Autonomous vehicles sometimes turned deadly. A massive federal study of facial recognition systems widely used by law enforcement found that Asians and African Americans were up to 100 times more likely to be misidentified than white men. Malign actors appeared to hijack social media to influence U.S. politics and subvert democracy across Europe. Cambridge Analytica harvested the personal data of 87 million people. By the end of the decade, countries and municipalities across the globe were using advances in facial recognition and data mining to create pervasive surveillance systems trained on billions of their citizens. In 2020 and 2021, key agencies throughout the U.S. government were hacked. Ransomware attacks caused transportation problems, created gas shortages, hampered meat processing, and led to worries about food shortages. Those were just the stories playing out in public. Other challenges emerging from the trajectory of innovation took place largely out of sight. Though seemingly more mundane than the headline-grabbing events, these developments were just as consequential for citizens, companies, and societies. In many businesses and organizations, algorithms produced biased or unexplainable results that directly affected individuals applying for loans, seeking jobs, or confronting the criminal justice system. Among companies and institutions, big IT widened the gap between the haves and the have-nots.